John Wayne owned westerns for 30 years. Then, a TV actor showed up wearing a poncho, smoking a cigarillo, and barely talking. Wayne hated it, called it disrespectful to the genre. But in 4 seconds on a film set in Spain, Clint Eastwood showed him something that would change cinema forever. This is the moment the Old West died and the modern Western was born. Almeria, Spain. Tabernas Desert, July 1965. Wednesday afternoon, 3:30 in the afternoon. The sun hangs in the sky, merciless, temperature pushing 107 degrees Fahrenheit. The ground is dry, cracked, every step raising a cloud of dust. On the horizon, a fake Western town set appears. Wooden buildings, saloon, sheriff's office, general store, all of it constructed to recreate Hollywood's Old West fantasy. But this is not America. This is a desert 20 miles inland from the Mediterranean coast in southern Spain. Sergio Leone is shooting for a few dollars more here. The second dollars film. The first, A Fistful of Dollars, was an unexpected hit in Italy. Now Leone has returned with a bigger budget, a more ambitious story, and once again, Clint Eastwood is in the lead role. The man with no name, poncho-wearing, cigarillo-smoking, squint-eyed, creating epic moments with 10-word dialogues, the mysterious gunslinger. 60 people are on the film set. Spanish crew members, Italian producers, American stunt performers, costume designers, camera operators, everyone sweating, exhausted but excited. This film is part of something that doesn't have a name yet. They'll call it spaghetti western later, but right now it's just a risky experiment. A western made outside Hollywood, without following Hollywood's rules. Clint Eastwood is 35 years old, tall, lean, athletic. The poncho rests on his shoulders, wide-brimmed hat shading his eyes. 3 days of stubble on his face, an unlit cigarillo in his mouth. Not the one the costume department gave him, the one he chose himself. Leone told him, "Create your character. I'll just hold the camera." Clint took this seriously. He thought about everything. How he would walk, how he would stand, how he would look. Keeping the character alive even when there's no dialogue. This is new territory for him. In Hollywood, actors take the script, listen to the director's instructions, play the role. Here, Leone is giving him freedom. Be the character. Don't act it. Be it. Clint spent the last 6 years on the Rawhide TV series, the Rowdy Yates character. A good role, but limited. Same format every week. Same type of dialogue. Same character arc. TV is nice, stable, pays the bills. But Clint wants more. A film career, permanence in cinema, creating something. When Leone's offer came, everyone said no. Clint's agent, an Italian director nobody's heard of, shooting in Spain, $15,000 salary. This will end your career. Hollywood Studios. What does spaghetti western even mean? You won't be taken seriously. Friends. If you want to be like John Wayne, you have to make the films John Wayne makes. But Clint trusted his instincts. He read the script, talked to Leone, saw the vision. This is something different. A western, but not a Hollywood western. Heroes aren't clear. The line between good guys and bad guys is blurred. Violence isn't romanticized. It's ugly, fast, consequential, and, most importantly, silence. Long, tense, cinematic silence. Clint said yes, flew to Italy, came to Spain, put on the poncho, lit the cigarillo, and became the beginning of something. Now, July 1965, the set is active but controlled. Leone is setting up the scene. Clint and Lee Van Cleef are about to shoot a confrontation scene. On the town's main street. Classic Western showdown, but Leone style. Extreme close-ups, eyes, hands, guns. Morricone's music will be added later, but everyone knows how critical that music is. Leone shoots with music, building the scene while hearing the melody in his head. Clint is preparing, checking his costume, his gun, his belt. Everything has to feel right. The character is physical, not just dialogue, body language. how he stands, how he moves. Minimal but effective. Leone is shouting, "Clint, more squint, eyes narrow. You see danger, but you don't fear it. You are death waiting to happen." Clint nods. He understands. He narrows his eyes, that famous Eastwood look. Cold, calculating, dangerous, but calm. The crew is making final adjustments. Cameras positioning. Light is right. Sound is ready. Then movement at the edge of the set. Vehicles arriving. 2 Land Rovers, dusty white. They stop. Doors open. A man gets out. Tall, broad-shouldered, wearing a cowboy hat. Without even moving, just by his presence, the entire energy of the set changes. Everyone turns, looks. John Wayne. The Duke. Hollywood's living legend. 30-year career. Stagecoach. Red River. The Searchers. Rio Bravo. The definition of Western cinema. King of cowboys. Symbol of American masculinity. Patriotic, heroic, with clear moral lines. Always the star in films where the white-hatted good guys win. John Wayne is 58 years old. Still in shape, still powerful, still the man who commands every room he enters. Cowboy boots, jeans, plaid shirt, neckerchief. Not set clothes, his real clothes. This is who he is. Even off-screen, a cowboy. Wayne is supposedly in Europe for a film. Wanted to visit. See Leone's set, try to understand this Italian Western business. But the real reason is different. John Wayne isn't curious. John Wayne is worried, angry. Over the past 2 years, a fistful of dollars has quietly become a phenomenon. In Europe, in Asia, around the world. Hollywood didn't notice, but audiences did. This is a different Western. Dirty, morally complex, doesn't romanticize violence, doesn't show heroes as perfect. And people love it. John Wayne heard about it, watched the film, hated it. To him, this isn't a Western. It's disrespectful. Cowboys aren't like this. Cowboys talk, explain their positions, say what they believe in. Clint's character just stands, stares, kills. Silence, moral ambiguity. Anti-hero. For Wayne, this is the collapse of the Western genre. The rejection of what he and John Ford, Howard Hawks, William Wyler built over decades. Leone sees Wayne approaching. His face tightens. This is not good. Wayne wasn't invited. This isn't a courtesy visit. This is a judgment. Wayne walks onto the set. Crew members respectfully make way. Some excited, seeing a legend. Some tense. This man came to cause trouble. Leone steps forward, extends his hand. "Mr. Wayne, what an honor." Wayne shakes the hand, but short, cold. "Sergio, wanted to see your set. These new-style westerns." His voice is polite, but there's sharpness underneath. Emphasis on new style. Not approval, criticism. Leone tries to smile. "Ah, yes, we are trying something different. More European sensibility, more what?" Wayne's voice rises. Everyone on set hears. More gloomy, more cynical, more disrespectful to what Westerns stand for? Leone freezes, doesn't know what to say. Wayne continues. "Westerns are about honor, about right and wrong, about men standing up for what they believe. Your films," he shakes his head, "they're about men with no names, no morals, killing for money. That's not Western. That's nihilism with cowboy hats." The set is definitely silent now. 60 people watching this confrontation. Hollywood's king rejecting the independent European director in front of everyone. Leone takes a deep breath. "Mr. Wayne, with respect, we are exploring different—" "Exploring!" Wayne roars. "You're destroying. You're taking everything Westerns mean and making it cheap, making it European, making it fake." Then Wayne turns his head, sees Clint, poncho, cigarillo, shadowed eyes, standing at a distance, trying not to be part of this confrontation, but impossible to avoid. Wayne walks directly toward Clint. Long, deliberate steps. Dust rising with each step. Authority, power, 30 years of dominance. Clint doesn't move, just waits. His posture relaxed, but his attention sharp. Wayne stops 3 feet away. Looks at Clint, up and down, assessing. "You're the TV actor," Wayne says, the way he says it. Not actor, but TV actor. Dismissive. Clint nods slightly. "That's right. Rawhide," Wayne continues. "Good show. Solid work. So why are you here wasting your time with this?" Clint doesn't answer. Just waits, seeing where Wayne wants to go. Wayne steps closer. "Let me tell you something, son." His voice lowers but becomes more dangerous. "I've been making westerns since before you were born. I know what a cowboy is. I know what it takes. And this." Gestures at the set, the poncho, the sets, everything. "This is not it." The set is still silent. Everyone holding their breath. Wayne continues. "You're not a real cowboy. You're a guy in a costume playing dress-up for Italian cameras. You don't talk. You don't stand for anything. You just stand there squinting, looking tough. That's not cowboy. That's acting. Bad acting." Crew members are shocked. This isn't just criticism. This is public humiliation. A legend belittling a young actor in front of 60 people. Leone wants to step forward but doesn't know what to do. This is bigger than his set. This is Hollywood's hierarchy. John Wayne is untouchable. If Leone interferes, his career could end. Lee Van Cleef watches from a distance, uncomfortable. Other actors too. Everyone wondering what Clint will do. Clint Eastwood stands there, poncho on his shoulders, cigarillo still in his mouth, eyes locked on Wayne. 4 seconds. Silence. Just the wind sweeping the set. A crow cawing in the distance. Then Clint moves, but he doesn't speak. Slowly removes the cigarillo from his mouth, with 2 fingers. The movement deliberate, calm, no rush. Drops it to the ground. Puts it out with his boot, slowly. Watches the dust cloud rise. Then he lifts his head. Looks directly into Wayne's eyes. No squint. Keeps his eyes open, clear, honest, fearless. And he speaks. His voice low, calm, clear, not shouting, not defending himself, just telling the truth. "You're right." Wayne narrows his eyes. This isn't the response he expected. Clint continues. "I'm not you. I'm not trying to be you. You built something incredible. 30 years of defining what Westerns are. Honor, heroism, clear lines between good and evil. That's your legacy. Nobody can take that from you." Wayne's expression softens very slightly, trying to understand where this is going. Clint steps forward, closer. Now they're 2 feet apart. Voice still calm. "But times are changing. The world is changing. People are changing. They don't want to see perfect heroes anymore. They want to see real men, flawed men, men who make mistakes, men who don't have all the answers, men who survive not because they're righteous, but because they're smart." Wayne's jaw tightens. "So you're saying my Westerns are outdated?" Clint shakes his head. "No, I'm saying they're classics, timeless. But classics don't have to be the only way. There's room for both. Your Westerns and mine. Your cowboys and mine." "Yours aren't cowboys," Wayne resists. "They're killers." Clint smiles, very slightly. "So were yours. You just made them noble. I make them human." Wayne takes a breath, about to respond, but Clint continues. "You said I'm not a real cowboy. You're right. Because real cowboys weren't always heroic. They weren't always honorable. Some were, but some were just survivors, drifters, guns for hire, and those men, the ones history forgot, the ones your films ignored, they deserve stories too." Clint pauses, then adds, "I'm not replacing you, Mr. Wayne. I'm continuing the conversation you started, just in a different language. 4 seconds, that's it." From the hook to this moment, from Wayne's words to Clint's response, exactly 4 seconds. And in those 4 seconds, everything changed. Wayne stands there, doesn't respond. For the first time in 30 years, John Wayne doesn't know what to say. Because Clint is right. and Wayne knows it. The crew watches silently. Nobody moves. This isn't just an argument. This is a changing of the guard, old generation face to face with the new. Wayne steps back, a small step, physically insignificant but symbolically massive, a legend retreating. "You've got guts, kid," Wayne finally says. His voice has softened. The anger is gone. What replaced it is unclear. Respect, reluctant acceptance, maybe just fatigue. Wayne looks around the set. Cameras, lights, Spanish desert, fake Western town. This isn't his world. This doesn't belong to him anymore. He nods. "Good luck with your film." He turns, walks toward the Land Rover. His crew follows. The vehicles move. Dust rises. They're gone. The set is still silent. Leone rushes to Clint. "Clint, I don't know what that was, but..." Clint shrugs. "It needed to be said." Lee Van Cleef approaches, smiling slightly. "You just stood up to John Wayne." "No." Clint shakes his head. "I just explained myself. He didn't have to agree. He just had to hear it." Filming continues. The scene is completed. The day ends, but the weight of this moment doesn't fade. That night, the crew discusses this incident at dinner. Some excited. Clint was brave. Some worried. Wayne might retaliate. Leone pensive. This will be in film history books. But Clint is quiet. In his room, reading the script, preparing tomorrow's scenes. To him, this was just honesty. Showing respect, explaining his view, and moving forward. For a few dollars more, releases at the end of 1965. Massive hit. Even more successful than the first, breaking records in Europe. In America, United Artists picks up the film, starting in small theaters but growing steadily. 1966, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly is filmed. Trilogy completed. This time the budget is bigger, scenes more epic, Morricone's music unforgettable. Clint Eastwood becomes an icon. 1967, The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly world premiere. Massive success. Critics divided. Some see genius, some say just entertainment. But audiences are decisive. This is something new, exciting, fresh, bold. Hollywood is paying attention now. This Italian Western thing isn't a fad. It's a revolution. Studios start wanting Clint. Hang 'em High, Coogan's Bluff. American productions, but with the Eastwood influence, with the lessons learned from Leone. 1971, Clint does Dirty Harry. Not a cowboy, but same energy. Silent, lethal, morally complex. Another icon. 1973, Clint directs his own Western. High Plains Drifter. Dark, morally ambiguous, supernatural elements. Nothing John Wayne would ever make. And it's perfect. 1992, Unforgiven. Clint's masterpiece. The end of the Western and also its perfect summary. Consequences of violence, aging, regret. Wins 4 Oscars, including Best Picture. John Wayne didn't live to see Unforgiven. He died of cancer in 1979. But in his final years, it said he watched Clint's films a few times. Never commented publicly, but privately, allegedly, told friends. The kid was right, times changed, and he changed with them. 2003. Clint is 73 years old, directing Mystic River. 2004, $1 Million Baby, another masterpiece, another Oscar sweep. 2008, Gran Torino. An old, bitter, racist man slowly finding redemption. The character ironically somewhat resembles the roles John Wayne played, but filled with depth, complexity, human frailty. 2021, Cry Macho. Clint is 91 years old, still directing, still acting, still that silent, powerful, stoic presence, still what he found in Almeria in 1965. John Wayne and Clint Eastwood never actually met again. After that set visit, they never worked on a joint project, never spoke publicly, but both became giants of Western history. in different ways, in different times. Wayne represented the Old West, Clint represented the New West, and those 4 seconds, that brief encounter in the Spanish desert between two legends, that moment, wasn't just a confrontation. It was a passing ceremony, one generation handing the torch to another. 60 people witnessed it that day. Most didn't understand the significance of the moment, but a few did. Leone understood, Van Cleef understood, and certainly Clint and Wayne understood. Sometimes history isn't written in great battles. Sometimes it's written in a desert, on a film set, in a calm, honest conversation between two men. 4 seconds, one response, one explanation, one vision, and cinema was never the same again.